Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Also, as discussed yesterday, we've completed the entire master data. How to set up the complete subsidiaries chart of accounts, the departments, classes, and locations. So today we will see the lead to code process. So the initial process, whenever we talk about any process area, any module, then initially this is the one that we actually talk about, which is a lead to code. How a lead is generated within your system and how the lead is being converted to a prospect and a prospect to a customer. So before I get into the system, I want to let you know how exactly things work. There is something called as online customer form. So what this form does is you can actually create an online customer form yourself. You don't need a developer to do that, or you don't need a technical consultant to actually do this. So on an online customer form, you can specify the customer first name, last name, the email address, the city from where they are calling or where they're submitting the tickets. And probably you can also, put in some comments. So on and so forth. So by creating this online customer form, there would be a link that gets generated. This is called an external link. Now this external link can actually be placed on a customer website. Sorry. Did you say something? Sorry. You joined. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So we are actually looking at the lead to code process. I was explaining that there is something called as an online customer form which can be created by the functional consultant themselves. We don't need the developers or the technical consultants to actually do this. So we can specify. There are certain things that you can specify on an online customer form and then external link can be generated. Now this link can be placed on a customer website. Let us say Amazon.com is your customer. Let us say you're implementing that suite for Amazon. So on the Amazon website, they can actually place a link saying submit a query or product review or anything. You can mask that link and then place it on a website. So when somebody clicks on that link, or when somebody enters their details like the first name, last name, email address, their query about a product and certain things. So if once they enter and when they click on submit button, then this particular person, whoever is submitting, would actually become a lead in the NetSuite system. So I will show you how that works. So let us get into setup. And then you have sales. I think the online customer forms have not been enabled in this instance, or maybe the name of the instance itself is changed. I don't know if it's the same thing that we were working on. Let us see this. So let's get into the enable features. Usually the online customer forms are available under the sales part and under marketing. The online customer form for the marketing is already available, but I think let's get into the sales preferences maybe. The lead conversion itself is not enabled. Let us see. So the lead conversion was not enabled in this instance, or we must have bought in a new instance maybe, and that's the reason we are not able to see this. And I'm enabling certain things here. Give me one moment. We already discussed all these features. What happens when you enable certain features and all? So those are the ones which I'm enabling now, which there is something called as a support as well. So if you see here, this is the support which was not enabled for us earlier. The cases and topics and solutions that we have here, this was not enabled for us. I did that. So if you get into the setup now, there is a lead conversion mapping that you see here. I still don't see the online customer form. One second. There's an online customer form here. This is a lead online sales also should support. I think it's in the support maybe. Online case forms. This is what I was looking for. The support was not enabled earlier. So what is a support? When you get onto Amazon or Flipkart or whatever it is, you chat with their customer support. You ask a query about a product. You ask a query about the shipment of a product. Where is my product? I did not receive it. How many days has it been? What is the status of the refund? You want to know about a product. You want to know about a product review. In that cases, you raise a support ticket. So this support ticket is the one that you will be, raising for your customers. And I mean not raising for your customers. Actually, the customers would actually have the support system and in turn, their customers. So you are implementing for your customer who is, let us say, your end-to-one diagnostics. So that is your customer, but that diagnostic center will have their own set of customers. And those customers, they might have like 150 or 200 customers for that matter. So those customers need some support from the end-to-one diagnostics. In that case, they actually raise a support ticket. So we will see how these things work. Let's go into the online case form. When you go into the online case form, I can select default form template. I can say that this is an online lead generation form. Or online, let us say case form. So I can just specify this. And then if I scroll down, I have my email, I have incoming message, I have the subsidiary and the authority. Likewise, I can say what is the width of the incoming message. How many characters can I specify here? I can say this has 150 characters. And I can say that this particular field is mandatory whenever someone is submitting a ticket. When someone is submitting a query rather, I don't say it as a ticket or something, but I say it as a query. So when someone does that, we can actually make these things mandatory or not mandatory. So title Mr. and Mrs. and then I can say first name and last name. I want the last name. Or I'm not saying that it is mandatory. And then let us say the first name. And then we can also put in the city from which they are calling you. So by doing this, what you can do is all these fields will be visible for the customer whenever they click on that link. And you have to ensure that this enable online checkbox is there. Only when you have this checked, then you will be able to generate a link for this particular form that we are submitting now. Then you can scroll down and a detailed message. You can type in the detailed message for Ferraris. Let us say we are actually typing the same message. And then you can set up your appearances like what would be the color theme on that particular thing. And then you can set up what's going to be the font. Let's say open signs and then button alignment. Do you want it at your center or left? Let's say it left for now. And you can select the logo and all this. So once you create your own customer online case form, I think there are some preferences here. Just a moment. We have to get into the support preferences also. I think how come we don't have the support preference? Actually, we are supposed to have the support preference also. Let's see this. There is a redirect website where you can specify where exactly does this have to go. So that is what I'm checking for. Give me a second. We have a support preference enabled. We will have a support preference also. Why is it not visible? Maybe they have not given us access to that and that's the reason it is not visible here. This support preference was supposed to be under the sales and oh, there you go. I didn't see this. There you go. This is the same support preference I was looking for. So default case forms and the customer and all these things. And then under the external, you would have to specify what is the URL mentioned here. It's fine. This looks good. So let's go back to here. What was the error that we were getting? Enter the value for URL for linking to form from your website. Value for URL. What is the value for URL? There you go. I think this is what it's asking for. Let's go here. External. put this URL in the online customer form also. And then let's try to save it now. One company name. It says after specifying your first name and last name, you're supposed to have a company name as well, which is mandatory in this form. That's what it's saying. So let us put in the company name also, and then we'll save it as mandatory. So let us make company name as mandatory and we'll save it. So once this form is saved, there would be a URL which gets saved in the external tab. This external tab was not there earlier for us. So this is the URL publishable form of URL that we are talking about. So what customers do is they actually mask this. Instead of putting the link as it is, NetSuite and all, they mask this and say submit a query or submit your case or something like that. So if you open this, you will be able to see all those first name, last name titles that we have set up over there. Whatever is mandatory will have an asterisk over there. So let's do this. That's my email ID. I said let's say company name. This is how I do it here. You can actually specify two different messages. I have put in the same message for you over here, but you can specify two different messages. Like the first one is enter your details, and then at the bottom, our support rep will get in touch with you shortly. Something like that. So once you click on submit, this is how the online case form is actually generated. Now this is getting real look. When I have done a redirect, under the custom code, I've put in redirect. So it is getting redirected to my website. I said, Ramsey.com, some website I've specified. So it's getting redirected to that. Now what exactly happened to that case? Now a case is actually submitted, but we do not know where is that. So where can you see that? When you go into your lists, support and cases. Here the case is submitted. This is my case 01. You see this? So when I click on view, I would be able to see who is submitting this. So it's actually the subject. The title is subject. I thought maybe the Mr. and Mrs. that we're talking about, but subject is. You can specify what the subject is, whoever is submitting the case. And then if you scroll down, you will see the communication. I need to know about so and so product. This has come in as a message for me. Now what happens when you get a case like this? So you can actually edit this case and then assign this case to a support representative. As of now, I'm not able to assign. The reason behind this is there is nobody within my NetSuite system who can be a support representative. So what can I do? I can go into my employee list. This is my employee list. I can go in here, and once you go in here, you can make this employee as a support representative. And where can you make it? I'll show you. He can be your sales rep. He can be your project resource. He can be your support rep also. There you go. So this is how you can assign somebody to be a support representative or a sales representative or a project resource when you go into your employee record. So now what I can do is let me save this. I'll save this employee record. Let's close down this. Go back to my case, refresh it. And when I refresh it, you see this is available as a support representative now. So I can assign this case to Kishore manually and save it. So what Kishore will do now is he will change the status of this case while he starts working on it. He can change the status to in progress escalated and all these things. And where exactly do you have all these things listed down? Like what is the case priority? High, medium, low. What is the case status? What is your contact? All these things is the master data which will be listed on the support tickets. What is the master data? Go to support. Set up support and you see this. You have your case statuses. You have your case priorities. You have case types, case origin types, case issues. All these things are the fields that you can see here. See, this origin is already there. Type is there. What is if it's a concern or if it is a case? Issue has not been created yet, and that is the reason I don't see it in the drop-down. So let me open up this case status for you. This is the case status. Not started is my order, the first order which is open stage. You can actually create your own status as well. Not started, in progress, escalated, reopen, close. All these are the different statuses which NetSuite gives by default. So you can create your own status as well. Let's say assign. You can have another case status like assigned. If you have assigned this particular case to somebody, then you can change the progress to assigned. After not started, probably you can create another one saying that I want this as a sign, and you can change the order on that. All you have to do is click on new and then you got to mention what is your order number and insert before. I can insert that before in progress and this could be my assigned. That's it. So when you save it, you got it, inserted before this. So when I go into my case and when I refresh it now instead of in progress, I will see the assigned status as well. That is my second status because I have assigned it to Kishore. So when Kishore starts picking up the ticket, he will change that to in progress and start working on it. And what is work? The work is simple. You go down, you see what is the customer query. You need to know about XYZ product. And then you can reply. Product is mobile phone, GB RAM, oven TB, something like that. All this can be actually done. You can insert a solution and then when you click on save, you can send to customer. When you click on save and you can copy the employees over here and then click on save. Once that is done, a new message will pop, will be appearing here saying that you have actually sent a message to the customer. So as of now, I may not be able to send it because my email address that I have mentioned in my is not the one I just said. So this is what the work is. Author. Who is the author? Kish. What is the message? This I have sent it. E. Has the email been sent? Are there any attachments? So you can attach those things as well. And these are the activities in your case files. You can create a new task. You can create a new log. You got a new phone call. Maybe you did not send an email. Rather, you have specified you have called this customer and explain what thing is. So you can click on this new phone call. Enter whatever the communication is done on that phone call. What is the subject? What is the end time? How many minutes have you spoken? What is the start time? What is the end time? This can be done. And what is the message that you've given to the client? All these can be noted down in your support ticket. Any questions on this so far? Do you have any? That's great. So this is how the support tickets actually work. Now whatever you see here, the status, medium priority, quick note, help desk case, issue type, everything is a master data which is already set up in the system. So let us close status list. So this is case priority and high, medium, low. We can close that as well. What is your case type? It could be a question. It could be a concern. It would be a problem. It would be a query. You can actually specify a new case type as a product query. Maybe something like this. You can save it. That becomes your case type. Now, if you close this, you have your case origin types. Whether it's a web, it has come through a web or an email or a phone or other sources or any other source, maybe a newspaper, an ad. Where has it come from? You can actually specify. And the best part about this is that if you go into your online case form, if I can edit this, you can actually bring in all those things here as well. Case origin. You see this case origin is there. So case origin will be a list which will get automatically from the system. And then you can have your case priority, case status. You can have your case type. So all these will be available as a list. You see this select option. Whenever you see that as select, it means the option is already available within the system. And you just have to select. The customer has to select what is the case origin, case status, case type. Now, when they select all these things, it gets defaulted on your case form directly. The status, the priority, the case type, the case issue, the origin, everything gets saved automatically within the case that has been created. So case issue list. As of now, there is no issue list at all, so I can create one. Issue list. There's something like that. I can create one. And I can put in that case issue list in my online case form as well. Case issue list. Is it not there? I don't know if it's called as issue. Something? I don't know if it's there. It's there. If it's not there, then that's fine. So this is how you actually define your online case form. Now, after doing this, now this person, whoever has put in this case, is not in my system. Did I specify a company name over there? I don't remember specifying the company name. I think it automatically took in the company name. Is it? I don't know. I didn't specify this company name at least. Yes, it took automatically. You didn't specify. but it was a mandatory field that I have created. So it should have asked me, I don't know. So what happens when you know if there is a new contact that gets created within the system? So if the company name is not non-matching, then it would automatically create a lead within the system for me. So I can go into the lead. I can go into the leads and see that. So this is the one which got created as anonymous customer for me now. The reason it got created as anonymous customer is I have not specified the company name, and that's the reason it is showing us anonymous customer. So you can actually change this to your company name, whatever company. So next time when what we do is, let's create another one. We'll go to the online case form. Let us save it for now with all the case types and everything. One other thing. So when I click on external, you see this. You also have this particular option here wherein number of requests, how many have clicked through this link, and how many have submitted. So when I click open this link, but I've not submitted this. If I go back refresh this, it shows me that number of requests are 2 and the number of submits are just 1. So what exactly this means is, let us say you have a lot of requests, like 10, 15 requests, but the number of submits are very less. So, which means there is something wrong with the online form that people are not able to submit them. Correct. So let us do this. So now we'll see this case. Origin automatically picks up all the values that I have over there. Not started. Type is a question. So I can submit this. So once this is submitted now, this would get submitted as a second case for me. Let's close this. Go back. Let's go to the lists. Actually, that page should not allow us to submit without actually, doing this. So now, earlier the grab option was not there because by the time this case was created, I am not a support representative. But after the case was created, I made myself as a support representative. So now what I can do is, even from the list, I can just click on grab. So this case will be assigned to me directly. You see this? It got created. So the record has not changed. It hasn't been changed. Now let us go to the leads and we'll see if this got generated as a lead. It did not. The reason could be, let's go into the support preferences, and there is something called as lead generation. So if the company name also has been taken again, as you see this, the company name has been taken as what? Sorry, as again Julia. There's something wrong. Let us see this. Now let's go to the support preferences and create new lead on no match. This has to be enabled. So when you actually enable this, and when you are creating a support form for you, then if your email ID does not match with any of the customers, then it will create a lead automatically within the system now, which was not enabled earlier. So also let's go back to the references. If you scroll down, these are the preferences that you have for support. Restrict cases based on subsidiary. Escalate to support reps only. Do you want to escalate it to anybody or only to the support representative? So these are some of the preferences that you have. What's going to be your status for the new case? We'll see that. Why exactly it is getting assigned to fully one company? I'm really not sure. We'll check. Why is that happening? But before we go there, we'll see what are the preferences. So what's going to be the default status for your cases? For status for grab cases, it has to change to in progress. For a new case, it has to be not started. For status for escalated cases, it's got to be escalated. Status for closed cases, it needs to be closed. So all these can be specified as preferences for you and notification. So notify filer on the support rep cases. Whoever is the support rep on that particular case, we want that to be notified. You can notify your customers. You can notify to list. You can notify to the CC list. This is all about the notification. Do you want to notify to the assignees? Whatever update has been done on a case, if you want that to be, let us say I'm the support representative. If someone is updating that ticket, then do you want that to be notified to me, or do you want to send the notification request to the customer? All these things you can actually specify in the preferences. And I'm external. We have already seen it. What is the redirect URL? Create new lead on no match that I have enabled it now. What about the inbound email address? This is automatically created by the NetSuite. So ordering there is, these are the whatever you create as your master data, the priorities, case status, case types assigned is the one that I have created. You can see all these things over here in the preferences case priorities. You can move up to down or you can just hold this and then move it. All these things can be done in the preferences case origins. If you want this, you can click on this. You can click on this or you can move it like this, or you can do anything as such. You can move to bottom, you can move to top. All these are your preferences. Any questions on the preferences? This is the one that I created of late. Visual list test. Any questions on this page? Then what we'll do is your case, the case that gets created, you can actually create certain rules so that it gets automatically assigned to certain people. So earlier the case was getting assigned. However, it was not getting assigned to. The case was getting created, but it was not getting assigned automatically. Correct. So to do that, what you need to do is, we'll see, why is this company not getting changed, but rather, now let's get into setup support. And there is something called as case rules. Case rules and case territories. So here, what you can do is you can create a rule. What is the rule? Let us say the case origin. So if the case origin, I can create a case origin saying that if it is an email, I'm setting the criteria as email. Then I'm saying email origin case assignment. You can say this. So I'm creating a rule saying that if there is a field on the query form, which is we have already created that, what is it? Case origin we have already created, and if the customer selects it as email, in that case, I want this particular case to be assigned to me, which is Kishore. So I've created this rule. Now I go into the territories. And I create a new case territory, which is origin case territory. I do this and I'm applying the rule. This is the rule that I have created. Email origin case assignment is the rule that I have created. And I'm saying match all rules. You can have multiple rules also. I mean, you can create a case origin. You can create a case type, or the best thing is that you can actually create a city. Whoever is submitting a case from Hyderabad, whoever is submitting a case from Mumbai, that has to be assigned to a particular representative. In that case, you can actually go here and then select, add it, and save it. So what did I do? I created a rule saying that if the case origin is selected as email in my online lead form, online case form, then through this case territory, I'm saying that I have linked my rule to the case territory and I'm assigning it through the assignment. I'm saying it has to be assigned to Kishore. So now let's go back to our online case form again. Where is it? Here it is. Click open this. Go to my external. Number of requests, number of submits are 2. So let us take this. Hold. Before we do that, before we submit this case, what is the company name? Auto-signed. Hold. Let's make last name as mandatory. Remove this. Save it. Just give me a second. So let us go to the link again. So open up the link. This time, case origin we will take as email. And then we'll see if this is getting automatically assigned. That is our test. I created a rule saying that if someone selects email, then it has to be assigned to my support rep automatically. So let's submit. What's the company name? Let's see. Go back to the cases. List of cases. You see this? Did you see this? It got automatically assigned to. There is no grab option and you don't have to assign it manually. Rather, it just got assigned automatically to. What's happened to this company? Why is it taking fully one? Actually, this should not be taken as I'm in the company. Whatever we select over there should actually come here. That is one thing that test we have done and it's working. Let's go to the leads and we will see if the lead also will not get generated because it's taking the other company automatically. And that's the reason the lead is not getting generated as well. So there must be a reference. Is this fully company? We'll see first. So this got created when we have submitted it the first time without the customer name automatically took this. But why is it taking the same company? There must be a preference, anonymous customer preference. There is a preference somewhere which says that, if the email or if something does not match with the present system, then it has to be created as an anonymous company, anonymous customer rather. So that preference I'm looking for. But this customer, why is it getting created as fully one? I don't know. Some preference must have been there. Hold on. Let's close it. Now you understood case rules and case territories. Do you have any questions on that? We'll see about the customer part. Why is it getting generated like that? But apart from that, did you understand what is a case rule and a case territory? How we can create them? Or do you have any questions on that? Guys, are you there? Understood, Kalyan. Right. So this is fine. Now, apart from that, there is something called as escalation rules as well. Escalation rules and escalation management. Now, one thing under this case territory, you can assign multiple representatives here. Like Kishore is a support rep now. He is the only support rep, so you might have other support reps as well. So you can continuously assign those people and the cases will get assigned to them, one after the other in a round-robin fashion. Kishore will get the first case. The second person will get the second case. Third person will get the third case. And then if there are only 3 people, it jumps on to the first person. So that is how it works. That is one thing. Now, the other thing is that there is something called as groups. Wait a second. Before we jump onto these groups, let's go into the employees. And I'm going to make another support rep. Another employee as a support rep as well. So scroll down. Under human resources, I'm going to make him a support rep and sales rep as well. Save it. So instead of assigning it to a single representative, what you can do is you can create a group. You can create a static group, a customer group, or an employee group. Here, in this case, you can create an employee group because we are creating the support group that we want to have. So here you can say that this is a support group. And this will be a support group. I can say and specify what the comments are or these things. And then when you scroll down here, you will have the employees group members. Who are your group members? Is one such group member. And then Alex that I've changed, not Abigail. This is another person. And then you can save it. So after you create a group, this is a group that I have created. When I get into my territories, case territories, instead of assigning this to a single person, what I can do is I can assign this to a group which has 2 people in it or 2 more. Any number of groups. So you can actually specify. You see this, the support group is available for me here. And Abigail is also available because he's a support rep now. He was not a support rep earlier and he's a support rep now. And that is the reason you are able to see him here. And you can actually select this group so that both Kishore and the other person, Abigail, are a part of that group already. Instead of assigning it to a single person, you can assign this to a group that can be created over there. So this group that I was talking about, it could be a customer group, it could be a sales rep group, it could be a, employee group, project group, or a contact group. You can create any groups that you want to, and then you can use them wherever required. As of now, I have created a sorry. What is this? Dynamic and static. Good question. So a dynamic group is something like, if you click on this, I created a static group earlier. So a dynamic group is, you can actually say that you can create a saved search. What is a saved search? All the employees from certain state, from let us say California. I can create a saved search and I can select that particular saved search here, saying that any employee who's from California needs to be a part of this group. So today I might have 10 employees from California, but a month later or 6 months later, there might be a few more employees who are getting added. Maybe another 5 people got hired from California state. So automatically they will become a part of this group. You don't have to add them separately. Did you understand that? Got. So not only the city, but you can create any saved search for that matter. Like, employees who've been hired between so and so dates from January till December has to be a part of this group. 2024. From, January 2023 to December 2023 needs to be a part of the other group. So likewise, you can have dynamic groups and whoever gets hired in that period, in that particular period, will automatically become a part of this group. And that group can be assigned on a case territory. So if you create a sales group like in, I have created a support group now. So you can create a sales group as well. And when you create a sales group, that will be assigned on the sales territory. So we will discuss about the sales territories and rules tomorrow, which is a part of the lead to code process. So you have sales rules and sales territory as well. So we can actually do that. I will show that to you tomorrow when we do this. So is it clear so far? Whatever we have discussed. Regarding the lead, sir. So when they fill that online form, so they will become the lead. Correct. No, hold on. So this is for case creation only. So there is something called as, there is a separate online lead form as well. When you go into marketing, there is an online customer form. So this particular thing is for lead generation. Now the preference that I have enabled, that if there is no match, it has to be created as a lead. So even from this case form that you have here, if the email addresses are not matching, if they're not present in the NetSuite system, it has to generate a lead. That is how it works. Somehow it is not getting. It's not working because the company is being taken as wholly some odd company. So what I'll do is, let me delete that company and then we'll try to, create another online case and see if that works. We will discuss about that tomorrow, but ideally the preference that I have set up now, which is the support preference. If you go to your support and support preferences, what I've done is I have said create new lead on no match. If you click on this, so what this is, there is a case which is created and let us say the case is unattended for like 4 hours. So this case has to be escalated to my manager. So in that case, you can create a new rule. So these are the different rules that you can create. You can create it based on case origin. You can create it on case stage. So what we'll do is we'll say the case's status or priority. Do we have priority here? There you go. So there is a priority. What I'm saying is, if my case priority is high, so if my case priority is high, this has to be assigned. This has to be notified to the manager directly. That is what I'm saying. So I have created a case rule. And then in the manager escalation assignment, I can create a new assignment saying that I can select my role here, which is high priority case. And then I'm saying that this is a high priority customer. And then in the case escalation assignment, I'm saying this has to be assigned to. It has to be escalated to Abigail immediately if my priority is high. That's what I'm saying. So let's go back to the online form that we created. Or you can actually directly create a lead as well. You don't. Lead in the sense the case. Instead of going to the online form, you can create a case form yourself as well. What's my profile is not getting selected. Profile is here. I think there are no case profiles and that's the reason it's not. There is. There is a second test 23. Why is this created? I don't know. We will select one customer. Profile is selected automatically and then priority is high. This is what we are saying. So is there a mandatory field? Escalation test. Save this. Subject. Values for subject. Enter values for subject. What values do we have? Values somewhere? What values are we talking about? Title actually. Subject is title maybe. That is what I'm saying. What values is it? Is the title again somewhere? Somebody has made this mandatory. Subject, subject, subject. Here it is. Save this. So now what I'm saying is my priority is high for this particular case that has been assigned. I mean, it can come from the online form or it can come from. It can be directly created as well. So when this happens, according to the rule that I have set up on the escalation, that it has to be directly escalated to Abigail. So you see this. See the status now. It is already escalated. And who is it escalated to? So an escalation assignment is high priority customer and it's been escalated to the manager directly. Escalated to Abigail Khan. Now for better understanding, instead of taking the priority high directly, what you can do is under the case rules, you can create or you can edit this rule. Let's create a new rule rather. When you create a new rule, let's go back to the list. Click on new rule. So usually in a business scenario, how they do it is there is something called as duration since case creation minutes. So they select this particular rule and then they say criteria greater than. According to their business needs, it might be 4 hours. It could be 3 hours or it could be 2 hours. So if this case is untouched for 120 minutes, then it has to be escalated. That is what we are saying. Time since duration, since case creation. Something like this. They actually create this rule. And you can create sub-criteria for this as well, or you can save it. So what I'm saying is, if this particular case, or any case for that matter, if it is untouched, nobody has touched that case. There's no update on it for like 2 hours, or it hasn't been assigned to anybody for 2 hours. then you can actually create a case assignment. I mean, you can create a new case assignment and then you can see this here, the case escalating would be there. I'll be here again. And this rule case, since case duration, since case creation rule that I've selected, and then I can create an assignment like this. So now we cannot test that because we'll have to wait for 120 minutes after creating the case. If it is not patched for 120 minutes only, then it would be escalated to this manager. As simple as that. So, just like the way this has worked, it has been escalated to Abigail because based on the priority rule that we have set up. So, likewise, you can create multiple rules. It's not that you will create only one rule. So, anything you know, if you click on this new rule, you can have your company name, you can have creation date, creation time, customer status, duration since case creation, duration since last modified by customer, duration since last modified by internal user. Let's say it hasn't been modified for one complete day. You can actually specify the minutes over there and then you can create a rule on email, on your file template, form template. So there are a whole lot of options. The more rules you create, the more complicated it gets. As simple as that. You can have multiple rules. And if you're creating two rules in a single rule, let us say two conditions in a single rule, then it works only if both the conditions are matching. See, I can say time, I mean duration, since my time case creation, and I also can say priority. So if my priority is high and then nobody has touched it for 20 minutes, then it has to be escalated to a manager. So you can create a rule, which I mean it's got to match both the rules that you have created over there, and only then it gets escalated. Any questions on the entire support process? So this particular module is called Call to Resolution. Somebody is calling you to get a resolution. So it is called Call to Resolution. This is completely about the entire Call to Resolution module. As in, how do you create your case rules? How do you create your case assignments? How the cases are created? How a manual case is created? I have shown you how the manual case is created, how the online case form is created. What are the fields that you can specify? How many fields can you make mandatory? What are the number of characters that you have over there? One thing that did not work during our demo today is that the lead did not get created even though we have specified the preference. The lead, it's getting some anonymous customers there. So if you have a lead that is getting created, that will look into it, no problem. But overall the concept, you understood how exactly these things work. You can create an online case form, and on the case form you can specify the first name, last name, city, anything. And then there is a preference. There is a support preference wherein you can say that if it does not match, then it has to be a lead. You can select that particular thing. And when someone puts in a query as a new customer with a new email address, then a case gets created on NetSuite automatically. And then case, how is it assigned to a sales rep? To a support rep. How an employee is converted to a support rep. I have shown you that as well. There is a little support rep checkbox on the employer record. You have to just click on that and he becomes your support representative. So you have multiple employees, like you have 50 employees. So 5 of them can be your support reps. 15 of them can be your sales reps. Another 30 can be your project reps representatives. So that is how you convert. So we have shown how the manual case assignment can be done, how someone can grab those cases if they are the support representatives. And then we have also seen how the case is automatically assigned based on the rules that we have created. And in those rules, we've also seen how the groups can be created, how the number of sales reps can be assigned to a single group. And we've also seen how the static and dynamic groups are created, which can be assigned. And finally, we have seen how the case assignments are done based on the escalations. You can create multiple rules. You can create multiple criteria for those rules. You know different conditions in those rules. And then directly you can actually assign, you can escalate the cases to those particular managers or whoever it is that you know. You can specify an employee over there and then it can be assigned to end. By the way, in the case assign escalation assignment also, you can assign that to a group as well. You can assign that to a support group as well, like this. You have to specify the email address. The email address is not specified in the support group that I have created, and that's the reason it's not taking in. So if I go into the list, relationships and groups, let me open the support group that I created. There is no email address specified in my support group. That is not mandatory, but I did not specify that. So that's why it was not taking in. I can save this group when I go back to my case assign escalation. Just to refresh this code, I can assign this to a group. The email is defaulted. This is how it is. So remember one thing, guys. If you're getting some errors. See, during the course that we have done today, there were a lot of errors that I have resolved. Initially, the first thing was that the support system itself was not enabled. So if I went in here and I saw that the support was not there, so what did I do? I went into the enable features. I've enabled the support case system and I've enabled the lead conversion over there. So that is when I have all these options available. That is one thing. And when I was creating my online case form, I was getting certain errors that my company name is mandatory. So you've got to enter the company name and make it mandatory. That is one thing. What else did we resolve? I think there were a lot of issues that we have resolved during the. So that is exactly how I see this was one of the issue. The email address was not specified, but you cannot specify the email here. You have to go into that support group over there that we created, give an email address over there, and that is when it gets defaulted here. So these things you will get with some experience. So you will have to play around with the system. That is what I say. You have access for 60 days, so please ensure that you're doing all these things that we have done in the class now. When I was doing it, it might have taken 1 hour. For you, it might take 3 hours, but it will be a very good learning how to create cases, how to create the online form, how is the link getting generated. So when I went into the online case forms, there was something called as enable online. If you don't do that, then obviously this is not going to work out. This enable online has to be there. So these sort of errors you will get it. If you remove this, if you uncheck this enable online, then the link that got generated for the external will not be there. So let us do that. I don't know if it's going to work now, but if I do this and if I save it, still is working, but because I've already created, I think it's there. You see this. So these are the errors you will get. So the more you practice, I was resolving these errors even before I'm getting the errors, because I know that this will be an error. And that is the reason I'm saying that this has to be enabled online, or else it's not going to work out. So you have to ensure that this is checked, enable online, and these things can be done. Anything else that we have missed out on? Detailed message. So it feels we already discussed appearance. We have already discussed sections form logo. Nothing else. I mean, I've discussed most of the things which are related to the support thing. Call to resolution. The entire module is called to resolution. So what I suggest is, please go and create some online case forms. Create some cases, try to grab those cases as your support reps, and then try to create some rules and try. Don't use the rules and assignments that I have done. See, if you log into the system now, you will have the rules and case assignments that I've done. So you create your own cases. You grab those cases. You auto-assign those cases. You escalate those cases and see how things work. And simple. You will understand the entire call to resolution process. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.